I am with the mayor of
Leominster.
Leominster. And what is your name, sir?
Dean Mazzarella.
All right. And Mr. Mazzarella, can you tell us a little bit about your town?
We're 30 square miles. There's about 43,000 people are here, so probably the daytime population is a little bigger because of the people that come in and shop and eat and work. But we're what we call a mid-sized city, and we're probably an hour to Boston. We're maybe 20 minutes to Worcester. So we're near the bigger cities. Around here, everything is pretty compact and close, and we have public transportation here. It's we're a manufacturing community, always have been. And in the early days, they made toys and carriages, baby carriages. They made piano cases here, and a lot of things made out of plastic. And now it's kind of morphed into medical devices and plastic, and we still do some of the household plastic things like buckets and containers and 5-gallon buckets, those kinds of things. But yet do other things that are used in surgical implants and all kinds of vials and medical devices. Big into wiring cable here. Lots of wiring cable that's made here because of the plastic coating around the wire.
The wires, yes.
Has to be coated, so there's a process for that, extruding it, and yeah, and so we have our own city hospital here that serves the area, sort of a regional hospital, and we'd like to say that we're still a small New England downtown, town,
yes.
But we have the amenities of a city.
Okay.
So if you want to go to Macy's or a fancy restaurant or anywhere like that and have the amenities like a decent-sized library, you can. But when people go home to their own little neighborhoods, they're like, old-style New England neighborhoods.
Now, we were told you had different districts, like the French side, the Italian side.
We do. When people came, for instance, my grandfather came here from Italy. He brought others with him, and over time they all moved around where is now the church area. I mean, people seem to have moved to areas near the church. That's sort of was the thing that the glue. And so we have a Frencho, we have an East Side, we have an Italian section, and it's all different sections of the city.
Correct.
But also historic sections of the city as well.
All right.
30 square miles, there are a lot of different, surrounded by 12 hills. So there are a lot of different, places on this side of the river, or that side of the river, this side of the tracks, or that side of the tracks, and nicknames that we're probably the home of a city that has, everybody has a nickname or at least one, and then maybe more. And so it's an interesting, but mostly still a working class, blue collar, community.
And how long have you been mayor?
21 years.
21 years. That's what Gail said. You've been here a long time, and she said that the
time.
town loves you, and we've heard nothing but great things about you from a lot people at the library, and like Gail and Eunice and all that.
Oh, that's good.
And we know you're known for the town as Johnny Chapman, which is Johnny Appleseed, was birthplace here.
Yeah.
And what else can you tell us about the history of the town?
There's a lot of history here. A lot of musicians that have come from here. There's a lot of artists, a lot of sports figures that have come from Leominster. Buckskin Sam is a guy that came from Leominster. He's a guy that was part of the Wild Wild West. Mm-hmm. He roamed with people like Kit Carlson and Buffalo Bill and those people. And,
oh, wow.
And he's buried here in a cemetery in Leominster, but his name was Buckskin Sam because of what he, the clothing that he wore. He's a really good shot.
Oh, really?
Good shot.
Yes.
And during the war, he became a spy for the North, but was in the South. And when he came back, he was given the title of Major Samuel J. Hall.
Okay.
So he had some military status. I guess officially, unofficially.
Yes, yes, I understand.
So it's an interesting place. We're surrounded. We have a Nashua River that comes through, Moosonok Brook. We have 12 hills that surround the city, and we branched out from what was once called the town of Lancaster, which is actually next door to us, still a town, and we kind of we're a spin-off from them.
Okay.
And with the intent that we would be a working class community with mills and not a bedroom community.
Gotcha.
A lot like Anchorage, for people.
Yes. And how many factories do we have here in the town?
One time there were 250 businesses, all related, directly and indirectly. The people that support those, and we probably make more plastic items here than we did when there was 250. Just because of the capacity and the technology, robotic, automation, advanced manufacturing has allowed us to, actually, the output is greater than it's ever been.
Very
so not as
nice.
many factories, but, so A lot of other things are made here, like furniture components, like these pieces of furniture here would be, made here in Leominster. There are a whole lot more things that are made here. The pink flamingo was invented here, the plastic pink flamingos, if you've ever seen
Yes,
those.
yes.
Those were invented by a guy that worked for a company called Union Products. And he and his wife are still around. They still make appearances, and they're known. In fact, there was a movie that was made by Disney that was centered around the flamingo. The flamingo, and one of the characters' names is Featherstone. Featherstone is the guy who designed and invented the pink flamingo.
Oh, really?
And so it was Romeo and Romeo and Juliet, or what was it?
Nomeo,
Nomeo.
yep.
It was with gnomes.
Yes, my
So
kids.
it was
Oh, that's very
Romeo
nice.
and Juliet. So that was something that was sort of centered around the pink flamingo and the Featherstones.
I know my kids will definitely appreciate hearing that.
The guy that invented the flamingo, he and his wife every day, and I don't mean just once in a while, every day dress alike.
Really?
Every day. She makes all the clothing. If they go out and they're dressed in suits, they when I tell you they dress alike, they dress 100% alike.
Wow, that's amazing.
So one of the premieres was done here for Romeo and Juliet. It was done one of the local theaters here, and the place was packed. So a lot of talent here, a lot of ingenuity. In the plastic business, a lot of processes, a lot of the plastic compounds were invented here. And that's really what the city is known for, is called the Plastic City, or the Pioneer Plastic City. But really where a lot of the attention came from is the compounds that they design that make plastic stretch or bend or make it harder so it doesn't break, and all of that is really what things that you use every day were invented right here.
That people don't even realize.
Not the product, but the compound that was made.
Yes.
Which is the most important thing.
Exactly, exactly.